easy pose or Sukhasana. Rotate the shoulders up, down, and back. The chin slightly tucked in towards the chest, elongating the backside of the neck. And gently close the eyes here. We're going to focus on the breath to begin with today. Inhaling in through the nose, a nice long sipping in through the nose. And exhaling out the back of the throat, a gentle snoring sound with the mouth closed. Connecting right away with our ujjayi or victory breath. So one more time, inhaling in through the back of the throat, sipping in that deep oceanic sound into the back of the throat. And on the exhale, releasing the throat, releasing the breath out the back of the throat. That snoring sound releasing out the breath. So using the breath to just get focused right away into the body, right away into the mind. So building the pose from the base of the spine, feeling the sit bone spreading out, and still sticking with that nice inhale, the nice snoring inhale and exhale. As I just lead you through a gentle check-in process with yourself this morning or today. So just using the breath, I know this is a rise and shine and get going practice, but however, it's really important to just get centered in and see how is the body feeling today? How is the mind feeling today? And just how the spiritual sense, the soul, how is the soul feeling in the body today? So just having a sense to check in and see what is the starting point and where we can expand. So today's yoga practice is a practice of expansion, yoga for expansion. So we're going to use the breath right now to expand and extend into this sense of the now. So one more deep inhalation, feeling the belly fill up with the air, feeling the sit bones spreading with the air filling in, feeling the ribs extending and expanding, feeling the head reaching up towards the crown, towards the ceiling. And on the exhalation, just letting that breath release gently out of the back of the throat, out of the nostrils. The belly button sinks back towards the spine. The sit bones ground a little bit further into the earth. Beautiful. And perhaps setting an intention for yourself for your practice today. One word intention, perhaps maybe just expansion. Or perhaps you might even use an affirmation for your practice today. I am a quality that you are looking to cultivate in your life. So I am expansive is what I'm choosing for, in case you don't have something for yourself this morning. A quality to work towards. And then gently opening up the eyes and letting that go. Just noticing if there was anything that came up for you, thoughts of the past, thoughts of the present, the heart in the future, concerns about the past. And it's completely just part of being human. So just knowing that that is part of the beginning practice. So placing your hands on your knees, we're going to do some circles through the spine, just warming up the base of the spine. I love these. They're called Sufi grinds. So just thinking about grinding around your spine, inhaling back, chin towards chest, exhaling forward, using the 45-degree angle of your elbows to just gently move you around the base of your spine. Really using the luxuriousness of that victory breath, the victorious breath that we're using to expand ourselves into this present moment. expand our awareness into a deeper sense of being here in the now. So yeah, I'm starting with a lot of maybe what you might consider woo-woo, or what I consider just, some of the deeper fine points of human, of being this in this human experience. Especially with so much of the technology that we are pulled into in life right now, it's this sense of being out of the body and out of the experience, and that there's a seeking for something outside of ourselves. That if we get the next thing, if we buy the next product, or whatever it is, that will make us better. But really allowing ourselves to use this breath, using the somatic sense of the body. Where is the body in space? And perhaps using this expansiveness of grounding into your experience of the now to allow us a deeper sense of our humanity, of even our superhuman state, of what it is we are reaching towards. Or what we have the potential more so to be. So really using the breath to, perhaps you're beginning to move around the spine a little bit quicker. Using this motion to maybe slow down where you feel any stuckness or pain in the body, in the lower back, especially in the shoulders, and then switching directions in the opposite direction. Exhaling forward, inhaling back. Exhaling forward, inhaling back. Using the strength of the arms to even push down and press out on the inner thighs. Rotating around the spine. Rotating around the being. Stirring up and even just warming up some places of perhaps of resistance. And using this time that we have together, this blessing of the body that we're in, to allow ourselves into a deeper sense of pleasure and expansion in our being. Okay, beautiful. And then closely allowing ourselves to come back to a more still position. Coming back to a point of homeostasis, or back to the beginning point. Closing the eyes. Placing the hands in front of the heart again. And then just checking through the body. Grounding into the sit bones. With that awareness of the heat perhaps at the base of the spine, or the warmth in the seat that's beginning to heat up. Feeling that, allowing the breath to come into the belly. Coming back to that gentle inhaling and exhaling in through the nose. And releasing the breath, allowing that wave of the breath. Can you catch the wave of the breath as it leaves the body? And then gently allowing that wave of the breath to roll in through the nostrils, up into the heart space, expanding into the being, into the elbows, into the armpits, into the shoulders, filling up, and then on the exhale, releasing anything that isn't serving you. And one more time, inhaling deep into the top of the head. Allowing the body to fill up this whole energetic tube or pranic tube, the Sushumna Nadi, all the way from the base of the spine to the tip of the head. And on the exhale, releasing anything that isn't serving you. Perhaps if you're a visual person, you might even release a certain color or grayness, and just letting that go. Perhaps exhaling that out the mouth. Beautiful. And we're going to move into some tapping practices today. I actually rarely teach this online, but I feel like this is a very important part of the expansion practice today. So nice loose fingers and fingertips. You're going to inhale in and just pound gently along the sternum, the base of the sternum. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Nice soft wrists, so you'll actually hear the padding sound. We might use a nice flat sound to pound against the chest here. Using the breath to expand. So as the force is applied from the outside, it allows the force to, the pranic force, the energetic force, to muster itself from the inside. And patting down the side of the lungs, the side of the hips, the side, all the way down the legs, pat the bottoms of the feet, all the way back up the legs, get on the back side of the shoulder here. And here, really inhaling and exhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Getting back on the other side of the shoulder, perhaps cupping the hands here. Down the side of the shoulder, down the arms. And then here, tapping under the right side of the clavicle. These are very good lung points here, actually. So with all of the focus on immune strength and immune health that we especially need at this time in our human existence, these are really good if you ever feel anything happening in your lungs, if you ever are like, ooh, I don't know, was the place maybe I shouldn't have been, or I was out in the world and I'm not feeling at my tip top, really pounding along underneath the collarbone here, along the sternum on the front side, but right almost in the soft part where the shoulder blades meet the top of the ribs here. This is a very good lung stimulating point in Chinese medicine. So really inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out with a deep ha sound. Releasing out. One more time, inhaling in through the nose. Allowing the reverberation of the sound to leave the body. Releasing. You might even feel some tension releasing here in the pectoral muscles. Inhaling in through the nose, and one more time, exhaling out. And then get down the right side of the lungs, nice and loose. Hands here. Make sure you get the side of the hips, the back side of the kidneys. Oh, it feels so good in the lower back. Yes. If you can't get a massage, you can definitely give yourself one. And this is such a good way to bring some energy and aliveness and expansion into the body. Down the side of the hip, down, nice and loose hands, down the inner thigh, down the back of the knee, and then make sure that you get the bottom of the feet. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands out in front, just warming them up. Closing the eyes here. And then just going into the sensation in the body. Noticing any difference in the energetic body. Perhaps you feel some warmth. Coming back to that deep, victorious inhalation and exhalation. Inhaling in through the nose, snoring in that wave of the breath. What other sensations do you feel? Perhaps you feel some tingling. Beautiful. These are all really good signs that your energy body and your rising and shining is expanding. So you're expanding more into your energy body and bringing vitality and life back into the body. So with this motion, we're going to actually do a lovely kundalini practice next that is pulling energy into the body. So you're going to inhale over to the right and inhale to the left. So just pulling in the energy with each inhalation, exhaling out the middle. So just drawing into the center of the heart. So I'm reaching over to the left side, inhaling, and then back to the center of the heart, reaching over to the right side, inhaling, grabbing, and extending that into the heart. So really pulling in what it is that you want to see into your life. Coming back to your, perhaps your I am station, affirmation. To your I am station line now. We'll call it your coming into I am expanded. I am joyous. And maybe even if the circumstance in your life is making you wonder what is the bridge between there and here, where you are now and where you want to go, just using this bit of energetic practice to really forget about the whys and the hows and the little steps right now to get there, but really just using the expansion in the body and using the breath to first call in the feeling into the body. So and even if you're feeling like, oh, I feel a little frustrated by this, maybe even chopping out with the arm. Chop through any obstacles and draw that sense of expansion back into the heart. I don't know about you, but this is really beginning to warm up my body. Three more breaths here. 2 and 1. Let's draw that energy up above our body. Gather it in through the top of the head. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling back in through the nose. Exhaling, releasing out the mouth. And seeing as you extend the fingers, can you expand even your peripheral vision so that you can literally almost with your eyes, even though your eyes might be focused forward on one spot, can you feel the pulsation of energy in the hands? Can you extend your vision? So you almost have this eagle eye vision of seeing yourself from the inside out, or from the outside in actually, at the same time as from the inside, feeling from the inside out. I know I'm full of Zen koans and riddles today. So inhaling the arms up, reaching, gathering, extending, and exhale, packing that in back into your being. Beautiful. So next, we're going to move with some radial expansion in the arms today. So placing the arms out as if in extending through the fingertips, really reaching out through the girdle of the hand, inhaling, reaching the arms out at a 90-degree angle. And I want you to carve out the space really, really slowly on the inhale until the arms come up into the cactus arms. Inhaling up. And then exhaling the arms back down at this 90-degree angle. You know that you're doing this move correctly, and then drawing the elbows back together so almost the elbows are touching and the shoulder blades are touching on the back side of the body. So you'll know you're doing this move correctly on the inhalation, drawing the arms up. When you start to almost feel as if you can feel the nerve that's radiating from the base of the pinky, the top of the pinky, all the way through the sides of the palm of the hands, wrapping around the elbows, and then coming in through the underarms, drawing the shoulders back and together. Beautiful. Now let's try that same move, but placing the hands so that, placing the hands down towards the floor and drawing the elbows back in towards each other. But this time we're going to carve up with the pinky side of the hand, so the opposite side of the hand. So almost it's like pressing so that the back of the hands are almost pressing into the wall. Beautiful. And you notice the front of my hands are coming out towards the front of my body. Beautiful. Inhaling down, exhaling down. Releasing, and then inhaling back up. Palms facing the back side of the room. Keeping that 90-degree angle in the elbows, exhaling back down. Elbows touching, scapula touching on the back side of the body on the exhale, and then inhaling the arms up. Extending the fingertips back behind you, the front of the arms forward, and then exhaling. Releasing and letting that go. The right arm comes over in front of the body, draws in front of the body. The left arm hooks onto the right forearm, rotating the shoulder up and down and back. Oh, that's so good. And then on the exhale, looking over the right shoulder. So expanding, today we're really working with this, expanding into the energetic body, but a lot of that expansion too comes with making room and space in the shoulders, making room and space in the neck, so that the breath has actual room to come into the body. Exhale, perhaps sighing out over the right shoulder. We have a lot of habitual holding patterns from life, stress, things, situations, injuries. So really allowing this space, the somatic space, the reprogramming of the body with the breath, and allowing ourselves to put in some new programs into the body, new physical patterns, new mental patterns, new breathing patterns even. And exhale, releasing the arm out and giving it a shake out to the side. Ooh, that's good. Beautiful. Reaching the left arm across to the right side of the body, the palm facing towards the back side, your backside, and then hooking your right forearm underneath your left forearm, rotating the shoulder up and down and back, both shoulders. Ooh, even feeling that expansion underneath the left side of the armpit, under the left pectorals, and on the exhale, looking over the left shoulder, as the belly button draws back towards the spine. Beautiful. Allowing the breath, allowing the space to just settle into the body. Coming back to what is happening to your breath. Notice even if the mind is beginning to wander into the future, what's next, or the past, what was. Using this victorious breath, using this oceanic presence of the breath to draw us back into this gift of the now. Beautiful. And then releasing the head so that it comes back forward. Releasing the right arm down, giving the left arm a shake out. Oh, that feels so nice. Beautiful. And we're going to come over onto our hands and knees into some spinal flexion and extension. So inhaling the chin and chest up. Exhaling, hollowing out. Looking back towards the belly button. And noticing, looking at the palms of the hands, making sure the fingertips are nice and wide and spread out. So that same base that we've been using from the beginning in the hands of extending through the fingertips, right? This also creates a lot of spaciousness in the shoulders, using this hand to really press down underneath the shoulders, rotating the shoulders up and down and back. The fingers spread nice and wide apart. And beginning to just take your own expression, your own beautiful expression through your spine. Perhaps just dancing with the breath and the movement, inhaling and exhaling. Perhaps at a faster pace here. This is also a kundalini yoga breath practice. Inhaling the chin up, exhaling back toward the belly. Pumping the breath as you pump the energy up and down the spine. Tucking the tailbone under. Extending through the front side of the pelvis. Really releasing the neck here. Thinking about this as if your spine is a well and your breath is a pump. Pumping the energy up the spine with the breath. And then slowly releasing that, letting that go. And then coming back and sitting on your knees. Inhaling, reaching the energy up above the head. Fingertips spread nice and wide apart. And drawing the thumbs together, making fists here. And then on the inhalation, inhaling, pulling up on the pelvic floor. Perhaps applying the root lock, the Muladhara Bandha, if you're familiar with it. The chin perhaps comes back down to the crook of the chest. And holding the breath in your prana tube here. Perhaps pumping up on the root of your pelvic floor, or applying Kegel if you're familiar with that. And then on the exhale, releasing the arms once you've held the breath for as long as possible. Beautiful. We'll try that one more time. Inhaling the arms up, fingers spread wide and far apart. Thumbs come together, pulling up on the root of the floor, pelvic floor, making the fists, pulling the energy into the body, feeling all the way up, pulling all that creative energy, that creative juiciness into your body. Closing the eyes, focusing on the third eye, the center of the forehead, the center of the brain. Holding the breath for as long as possible here. Perhaps you might even begin to feel yourself shaking a little bit. That's okay. While you're holding the breath, and when you need to release the breath, sweeping the aura clean, sweeping the energetic body clean with the hands. And one more time, inhale, reaching, gathering up. Clean the periphery of your body with this new energy you brought in. The thumbs come together, hands come together in fists. Pulling up on the pelvic floor. Chin comes towards the chest. Pulling up on the base of the spine. Holding the breath. till you can't any longer, and then releasing the hands, sweeping the arms out to the side, and hands come onto the back of the hands, come onto the back of the top of the thighs, gently closing the eyes here, feeling any warmth, just allowing the benefits of that short exercise to sink into the body. Noticing any warmth, any changes in the spine, any flexibility. And here is a good place to send back in your sankalpa or your intention, your one-word intention. I am expansive. Setting that deep into the center of your being. And then gently opening up the eyes. We'll continue. Coming back onto your hands and knees. Beautiful. Okay, so bringing the right arm out as if you are shaking someone's hand. Beautiful. Drawing the belly up and in towards the spine. Knitting the ribs as if you have a corset on. And then really extending and pressing into this left arm. And then gently lifting the left toes back behind you in an extension. So the right arm is forward, the left foot is behind you, and then gently lifting up the left foot. And then here, we're going to draw the left foot out towards the left side of the body, engaging in a whole different set of the gluteal muscles that are really good for any of the stabilizing practices and stabilization of the body. Really good for your side butt. So inhale even a little bit further up, holding with the leg out towards the left side. And then you might even move the right arm out towards the right side. And notice that that gives you a little bit of relief from the buttocks, and then bringing the right hand back straight forward. And then lifting the left leg even a little bit higher out to the side. Then bringing the left leg directly behind you until you're one straight line, and then gently letting the left foot down and letting the right hand down. Woo! The knee comes back down. The toes come together, the knees come wide apart, and then coming into a child's pose and letting that go. Exhaling out the mouth. You might rotate back and forth on the forehead, letting go of any wrinkles on the forehead, any tension, any like, what was that? And what we do on one side, we do on the other side. So coming back up onto all fours. Beautiful. Pressing into the hands. The left hand comes in front of you. You are doing amazingly great. It's walking your right toes out behind you. Drawing up on the belly button. So even before any toe comes lifted off of the ground, you begin to feel this engagement in the core here as the belly button and the core muscles wrap around the pelvic girdle, and even the corset or the intercostal girdle wraps around the ribs. The belly button comes back towards the spine. And then gently inhaling, pointing through the left toe here, extending through the left fingertip, and then moving the right foot out at a 45-degree angle behind you. And this time, pressing the foot into as if you're pressing it into a wall. So really feeling that in the side glute muscles. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling, and then extending the left arm out towards the left side at a 45-degree angle. So now you're a diagonal. You can even point the right toe here to give yourself a little bit of a break. Then come back, flex the left toe. The right hand comes forward again. Beautiful. Lift up that left foot a little bit higher. Beautiful. Extending. This is so good for your core, so good for your lower back. And then on the exhale, extending the left leg behind you, pointing the toe, and on the exhale, releasing it back down. Yeah, so you got that. Left arm comes back down. Right knee comes back underneath the butte. And then maybe even giving yourself a little cat-cow here. Oh, releasing the spine, releasing the head here. Toes come together, knees spread wide apart in a child's pose. Beautiful. Releasing the head down. Feeling the breath as it rises from the base of the spine through the middle of the lungs to the top of the head. And coming back to your victorious breath as it washes over a sense of calm into the body. So we're using this practice to gently encourage expansion of the energetic and the bandwidth of the body, so that when it begins to experience things that on the nervous system might seem to be called quote unquote stress in the outer world, you have this vehicle of the breath and this resilience that you're creating through this practice of yoga and somatic-based movement to signal to the nervous system that, hey, I'm familiar with this. I have control over this by expanding my breath, by expanding the length of the inhalation and the length of the exhalation, so that it doesn't take so much of a toll on our body, mind, and spirit. Beautiful. Walking the hands back up. Fantastic. And we are going to gently walk up into a similar to a downward dog, but it's going to be kind of like I don't know what we call it here. So just coming onto your tabletop, your feet and knees about hip-width distance apart, pressing and then tucking the toes under, so as if you were going to be sitting back on the feet. Ooh, let's even just sit back on the toes here, getting a little extension through the arch of the feet, especially if you have any plantar fasciitis or any issues with the arches of your feet. And then walking the hands back up. So this is the position, woo, walking all the way up. Ooh, you might be wondering, why would you ever do this? This is so amazing for any bursitis, any type of things that you have in your feet. This is so excellent, especially just releasing the bottoms of the feet here, and then walking one hand in front of the other. Now with that same toe tuck that we just experienced, you're going to press into the hands. Beautiful. And on the inhalation, lift the knees up off of the ground. Tucking the tailbone under just slightly. Extending the head forward into one straight line. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So inhale in through the nose, wrapping the belly button back through the spine. On the exhalation, coming back to that deep, victorious breath. Inhalation through the nose. And exhalation, slowing the breath down as it leaves the body. Beautiful. Nice and firm through the thigh. Lifting the knees off if you have to, you can let your knees come down, but come on, I think you can do this. I know you can do this. Inhaling in, I am expansive. Exhaling out. Feeling that burn perhaps in the sides of the glutes. Oh yeah, who knew you were gonna get this nice deep core toning today. One more deep inhalation through the nose. Make sure you're not gripping through the face, the neck, the arms, and then exhale, releasing the knees down. Ooh, beautiful. Coming up into your cat and back down into your crow. Fantastic. One more time, inhalation and exhalation, releasing. Beautiful. Walking the hands forward, we're just come into bringing the right leg out to the side Inhaling the right arm up above the body. And on the exhalation, making a nice side angle. So we're doing a lot of side rib expansion here. You might place the left hand on the left side of the ribs, the left side of the waist. The beauty of having the hand on the ribs is you can really feel the breath as it begins to draw in and out of the body. Walking the right toes perhaps forward a little bit on your mat to the right corner of your mat so that you're getting another release through the side of the glutes that we were working on before, and then inching your toes back to the back corner of your mat. And this opposite diagonal. Beautiful. And walking your leg back to parallel. And the exhalation, releasing the arm down. If this is too much for your knee too, if you're on a super hard surface, I sometimes forget that I have kind of like a rug and another yoga mat beneath me. You can roll your yoga mat double, triple, thruple times, and, so that you have lots of padding underneath your kneecap. Okay, and then walking the right hand down the right side of the calf. You might look down toward your right big toe. Breathing into the left side of your body. Extending the left arm up into the air here. I'm going to even invite you to make some circles with the arm here. So drawing it back, up and around. Perhaps looking up towards your hand, drawing it back as if you're opening up your wings, expanding. Inhaling up and around. Exhale, expanding back. You might even feel this connection all the way coming from your left sit bones as it draws across the body. And on the exhale, opening, feeling that extension all the way through the hip, the left hip to the left fingertip. Beautiful. And then switching directions, opening around and back. Inhale, reaching and extending, looking up towards the hand and back around. And one more time, inhaling up. And around. Beautiful. Bending the right knee so that it comes underneath the right thigh. Placing the hands behind the back. You could tuck the toes under if this feels comfortable for you. Coming into heart extension pose, inhaling the chin up towards the sky here. A gentle camel pose, leaning into the tops of the feet. Imagining that you have a ball that's placed behind the head. So you're not jamming into the back of the neck or cervical spine here. And if you feel really good, as if you're breathing into the front of the belly, the front of the groin, and you want to walk your hands back towards grabbing a hold of your left hand reaches towards left heel, right hand reaches towards right heel, inwardly rotating the thighs, and exhaling, looking up towards the sky. Being really gentle, breathing in, making sure to not wrench in the lower back here, not crunching into the lower back. And really with this heart opener, expanding into the heart. Expanding the breath into the front of the body. Inviting the inhalation deep into the bottom of the pelvic bowl. And on the exhale, walking the right hand back up to the right back side of the glutes, the left hand back up to the left back side of the glute, tucking the chin under, nice and strong and firm through the thighs, really, really, really slowly coming back up Inhale, uncurling the tops of feet so that they press into the ground. Exhale, bringing the hips back, and then extending the fingertips forward into a child pose here. The counter pose to this really big heart opener. Beautiful. You might even open up the elbows a little bit wider here, placing the palms of the hands together behind the back of the neck into your Anjali Mudra. Or prayer pose, hands behind the back of the neck. You might even rotate over from one hip to the left hip, or moving from the right hip to the left hip. So just gently release and flush out the lower back a little bit. Beautiful. An audible sigh, if that's something that you like in your practice. Exhaling and then walking the hands back up. Beautiful. And then coming back up onto the knees. We're going to try that one more time. That big, beautiful heart opener. So inhale, rotating the shoulders up and down and back so that the scapulae are kissing each other. Walking the toes under. Bringing the belly button back towards the spine. Beginning to lift the chin up towards the sky. The chest up towards the ceiling. So first, the bend happening in the lower back. Reaching back towards the heels if that's comfortable for you, or you can just stay with your hands on your waist, whatever option works for you. Belly button comes back towards the spine. Inhaling the chin up towards the sky, releasing the back of the head. Perhaps to look back towards the wall behind you. And if you'd like an extra option in this practice, you might even lift your lower lip over your bottom teeth to really extend through the lymph nodes in the neck, the thyroid in the neck. Opening, allowing the breath to come into the front of the body, expanding into the back of the ribs. Nice and firm through the thighs. Strong through the glutes. And then exhale, walking the hands back up the back sides of the thighs. Exhale, bringing the chin up towards the sky. Or a really strong, I was going to say warm through the front of the thighs. Somehow I'm feeling warm through the front of the thighs. And then exhaling the chin down towards the chest. You know, lots of different sensations happen in yoga. You just never know when the dam's going to break. And then exhale the top of your feet onto the ground. And then the hips sink back down towards the heels. The top of the belly folds onto the top of the thighs. The hands gently walk forward, little spider fingertips forward. Inhaling up and then exhaling forward. Releasing the lower back. You might even take this as a little vinyasa here. Inhaling up. Pressing into the hands and then extending. Exhale, little cat-cow as you release the top of the head down. And then one more time as you press into the top of the hands, if you'd like, expanding the arms a little bit wider, extend shoulder width distance, inhaling up. And with this small little vinyasa here, cat-cowing through the spine, you find more spaciousness, maybe even a few more centimeters of length in the spine. And releasing the head to the floor. The muscles of the face are relaxed. The tongue is relaxed. Sides of the ribs are relaxed. Relaxing the lower back. Your beautiful belly as it falls onto your amazing strong thighs. Fantastic. And then walking the fingers back, one into another, finishing up this stretch on the opposite side. What we do on one side, we always do on the other. I didn't forget. And then bring the left leg out. Ooh, inhaling the right arm up. And then exhale, walking the left leg, left hand down the thigh. A nice expansive side stretch here. And exhaling over. Walking the right toes forward. Perhaps the right hand comes down to the floor. The left arm reaches up towards the air. Ooh, there we go. I don't know if you heard that. My good old chiropractic yogic session. Got a big nut crack there. Looking up towards the left fingertips. And then looking back down towards the right fingertips. Walking the left toes back. Right arms forward at another diagonal here. Getting that stretch all the way from the left big toe. Front of the groin. Side of the left intercostals all the way up to the left fingertips, and then walking the foot back to a center of the mat. Inhale, walking the arm up, and then exhale, walking this left hand down the leg. Inhaling the right arm up towards the sky, and then expanding the arm around in your circle, inhaling up, and exhaling back. This rotation in the rotator cuff of the arm, inhaling up and exhaling back. Beautiful. In the opposite direction, inhaling back and around. Fantastic. And then coming back up. The right knee meets the left. The hands come back in front of the heart in a Virasana or hero's pose. Closing the eyes here. We'll move into one final pose for class today. That's a rabbit's pose. So you're going to hold onto the back of your heels here, reaching behind, placing the top of your hands on the bottom of your feet. Inhale, and then exhaling the head forward. And trying to bring the top of the head as close as possible to the knees here. And pressing the heels together so that even the feet are pressing the fingertips together, almost pressing, the fingertips are almost touching. And then shifting your weight forward on your head here. This is so good. Really, really good to release the lower back. And there's really not any weight lifting or resting over top of the head because you're actually holding and pulling so hard on the back of the heels here. Breathing into the back of the belly, taking 3 breaths, deep ujjayi breaths here. Victorious breaths into the back of the heart. Expanding, seeing if you can shift any more weight forward onto the top of your head, while simultaneously pulling on the base of your heels. And one more time, lifting up on the pelvic floor, inhaling in. Beautiful. Breathing into the center of your head and exhaling, releasing the head down, releasing the fingertips forward, allowing the knees to come forward, and then just resting in your child's pose here. Your final relaxation pose for class today. So sometimes, as we come back to the breath, as we come back to ourselves and our body, this expansion becomes the true gift of the practice. And I'm really hoping and trusting for you that you experience some relief today, experience some expansion today in this practice, that perhaps you come back to your affirmation, I am expansive. And that you're setting some intentions for yourself for your future and for these little moments of the now that move forward into what is your future and our future as a humanity, that you give yourself these moments of healing and allow yourself these moments of expansion to come back to your true nature. So walking the hand one back in the other, in front of the other, coming back to onto your here, onto the knees, the hands in front of the heart. Keeping the eyes closed here, and just bowing to the center of your heart for showing up today, for doing this really important, expansive work for yourself. And if you found any benefits from the practice, perhaps you have a little extra love to send out into the world to someone who might need it, or perhaps you might even think about someone who you might even share this practice with, share this video with, who might benefit from it. So thank you so much for coming today. This is your Rise and Shine yoga practice, 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. The restorative class is on Thursdays at 5 p.m. I hope that you join, or these classes are also archived for your benefit and for your use and for your healing. So placing hands in front of the third eye, giving thanks for right heart-centered thought, in front of the mouth for right heart-centered action, speech, and then in front of the heart for right heart-centered action. Namaste, Ashe, and look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Afi. Feel free to send any questions to @AfiHealthyHappy, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.